sex is a powerful thing. And this is what people have. They've tried to make it seem like, oh, you can sleep with anyone and it's no problem at all. Cosmo says it's liberating.
Right.
And Jordan Peterson had an interesting analysis when Me Too started. He said, this is finally going to teach our generation, like, this is something that really psychologically influences people. This is something that influences society, and you need to respect it. You guys need to stop being so crazy and ridiculous with it.
Yeah.
And this is what's happened. Hollywood is in shambles because of this one thing that the liberal media tries to tell us is so free and liberating, and anyone can do it all the time.
But I had Lisa Green on the show. I remember because a lot of people, and I would still welcome her back on the show, but everyone kind of gave her a hall pass.
Yeah.
And she was just saying, well, in case you don't realize, women like to get laid. And I said, I'm not saying that some women don't like to get laid. What I am saying is that I believe that women, by and large, not all women, we're making a generalization, are not as sexually predatorial as men. It's like, well, disagree. Fine. I don't need a fake common ground with that.
Right.
Do you think women want to have sex with as many men as humanly? Because that is what all men hear. If everyone guys being honest here with no moral compass, sex with as many women as you possibly could?
Yeah.
Everyone else?
But I have a moral compass, thank God.
I love my wife, though.
Yes.
I know. I'm absolutely saying. But women, are you hardwired that way?
Women, even if they are tricked by media, whatever it may be, schooling, to think you can do whatever you want, I think deep down they know. Because at the end of the day, after they've been with a guy and the guy says goodbye after Tinder, even if they both agreed to just do a Netflix and chill, they're sad. They call up their girlfriends. I've had girls call me after this, and they're upset about it. And they're like, I don't understand why I'm upset. I don't understand why I'm attached to this guy. I only met him once. Well, how far did you go?
Right.
Because it's literally psychologically wired in your body to make those connections, to bond with people.
This is what Christians are talking. There's kind of like a soul tie that occurs. You're about to say something there, Quarter Black.
Yeah, I had a friend that did the same thing. That he went on a Tinder date, and things happened, and he felt bad after it. I mean, just like that.
Progressives have admitted that the Me Too movement is less about truth than it is about causing what they quote a shift in power imbalances.
Yeah.
That's from the conversation right there. A shift in power imbalances. And that's everything. That's black. That'll be the closing segment. I want to talk about that a little bit more because shifting power imbalances just for the sake of it, you have to figure out who's at the other end of that seesaw when you shift it. That's really important to know. And this is foundational for the modern progressive left. Like we've talked about, it's the underdog automatically has the moral high ground. And unlike here, we have to get going. We have to get going to Stefan Molyneux here in a second. Unlike John Oliver, Samantha Bee, or Samantha Budd, or Trevor Noah, who just bitch, I do want to be solution-oriented, and you touched on this, and I think you're right. The problem, we're told, is we have a culture of rape. Okay, let's go along with that premise. What's the fix? The solution is the exact same kind of crap that you've been mocking for decades, like Mike Pence not going out to dinner alone with a woman who's not his wife. Like not allowing your teenage daughter or son to go upstairs with the door closed and a box of Trojans. How about that? Maybe teaching young people that abstinence, if not until marriage, which I still advocate. That's just a personal decision. It's just me. But at least until you're old enough and in a permanent relationship or a long-term relationship, maybe that could be beneficial. Like maybe teaching young men to serve and protect young women. By holding doors for them, by not allowing them into dangerous situations. And yes, that includes the front lines of war. Why? Because pull-ups, like teaching women that motherhood is more important than your business success. Why? So they can raise successful, morally upright young men and women of their own. Maybe like teaching men, men, you don't get off the hook, about real masculinity. Let's throw away the terms toxic masculinity. How about just real masculinity, like being a leader, a good husband, a faithful husband, and a father who stays with mommy and works through the marital problems, even though his feelings might be hurt. How about that? What you call toxic masculinity, I call necessary for the survival of the human species. And you know what's not? You know what's not necessary for the survival of the human species? Identity politics, toxic lesbianism, lesbianism, I don't even remember what it was. I don't even know what you call it. Toxic lesbian, raping, gay studentism, and man shaming. That's not necessary for the preservation of the human species.